Alright, so this is going to be a super short video just to quickly explain this homework that you need to complete. It's called the array trace homework. And it says, hint for these problems, draw a picture of the array. So it's a tracing homework, but it's with arrays. So I wanted to start you out on the first one so that you could see what I'm expecting and how to format it. So number one gives you a short code. It gives you the whole driver. And the first thing I see is final int max equals 6. And then int bracket bracket a equals new int max. So when it said the hint is draw the array, that's what you should do. So for your work, here's the array A. And it's an array of size 6. What would the indices be? It would go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like that. Then you've got a scanner. It's reading in from numbers.dat. And it says down here, this is numbers.dat. These are the numbers you're reading in. So this first for loop, it starts at 0, goes less than a.length, I++. When you see a for loop like that, what's it doing? It's running through the array, starting at space 0, go all the way through. And at each spot, like for instance, when I is 0, it's setting a bracket 0, so this space equal to the next integer in the file. And that would be the first integer in this file, which is 8. So 8 gets filled here. Then technically I becomes, well, then it says system.out.print a bracket I in a space. So somewhere you can put it down here if you want, where it says output. Let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller so we can see everything at once here. Yeah, it might be a little too small. How about that? A little bit better. Maybe that. Yeah, I think we can go with that. Okay, so it says output a bracket I in a space. So put a space for the output. What's in a bracket 0? What would output 8? And then a space. Now I is 1. A bracket 1 equals the next integer, which is -2. Okay, so then it prints out -2. And notice it's on the same line because it's a system.out.print and not a system.out.println. So these are all going to keep printing on the same line. Okay, now I is 2. A bracket I equals the next integer, which is now -5. Prints out -5, still on that same line with a space. Now I is 3. Next integer is 13. So it prints out 13 on that same line with a space. Now I is 4. Puts 21 in there. Puts out 21 with a space. And finally I is 5. That's the last number in the file here. A bracket 5 is -19. Prints out -19 in a space. Kind of ran out of room there. If I can get that a little nicer. -19. There we go. Okay. Then there's a system.out.println with nothing inside of it. The purpose of that is just to end this line so that my next output begins underneath. Now I'm starting from 0 again, but now these are k's. So k starts with 0. I print out -3 times a bracket k. So -3 times a bracket 0 would mean -3 times 8, which is -24. So -24 is going to be the first thing that prints out on this line, and then a space again. And then k is 1, and it prints out -3 times a bracket 1, etc. All right, so I'm going to have you finish off this first one, but that should give you a head start. If something I said here didn't make sense, let me know. But this is how all the problems on this homework are set up. Draw an array out, and later on, nothing's really changing in this array, but if something were to change, you could cross it out and write what was changing above it. Keep track of your loop variables, and put a spot for your outputs so I can see what's printing out. All right, so I'm hoping number 1 should be pretty easy for you to finish. Number 2 is fairly straightforward too. There's a math.pow involved. Once you get to 3 and 4, I think it's those two. Maybe it's 2, I'm not really sure. But there definitely are tricks on here. So after this video, you should immediately try the rest of this homework packet and have me check it before you turn it in, and I can let you know if something doesn't look right.